Hello everyone, Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal. It is Wednesday evening. I hope you're doing well if you're watching or listening to this around the world. As always, thank you very much, John, for joining me on a live stream this evening. It has been Mikel Arteta's press conference today ahead of tomorrow's big game against Liverpool in the Premier League. I was there at London Colney. I've just got back and I thought I'd pop on instead of doing the usual sort of pre-recorded show. I'd come on and do a live stream, get your views on the game tomorrow, what you're expecting from the game, what you want to see from Mikel Arteta in tomorrow's game, as well go over some of the talking points from the press conference. He did the team news updates, obviously, like he did. Spoke about Carl Havertz, spoke about Ricardo Calafiori, Christian Mascari, talked about the sort of magnitude of the game and how Arsenal feel like they kind of owe Liverpool one as well. So we'll talk about that. He did, as expected, send out a bit of a message to the Arsenal fans, which he tends to do ahead of these big games. We've heard it from him before, and I expected it. I had to say, as I made my way to the press conference a little bit earlier on today, and he did send out that message as well. So we'll look at what he's had to say in terms of that, and we'll get you guys involved, of course, to get your views on the game. So while I wait for more of you to join and more of you to send your comments in, already seen some people are in, including Bradley with the high wattage message. Thank you very much for that. Paul, you're the man, Charles. Very nice, Paul. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it as well. Ben, wow. Lucky boy, Ben, won the ballot, and you're coming down tomorrow expecting a big atmosphere. He's certainly going to get a big atmosphere. Ekitike missing would be massive. It would, but congratulations, Ben. Not many people win the ballot, especially for a game against Liverpool. So you've done very, very well there, Ben. There'll be a lot of jealous people about that indeed. So obviously lots of you are getting involved as well. Good to have you on the stream, obviously. Who we got here? It's live and direct. Indeed, it is. Nice picture update. There hasn't been a picture update. They've been out there for a while at the moment. I do need to lower that one. I know it annoys a lot of you. You all mention it about how high it is compared to these ones. I know. My plan was when I put it up, I was going to put something underneath it to sort of make it look not so out of place. But me being me, I haven't actually put anything underneath it. So I know, I'm well aware it sits a little bit high. Anyway, Buster Move. Hello, afternoon. How are you? Who we got here? The Tone Crafters from Houston, Texas, my brother's state over in America. I hope you're doing well over there. Thank you for joining me. Lots of other people getting involved, saying hello, trying to get through as many of you as I can before I get onto some of the some of Mikel's press conference updates. Ghetto Legislate says, Mike watching from Toronto. Hello there. We got someone from Ontario as well. Goodwin, I think that is from Bowmanville in Ontario. I love the thing I love about these live streams is seeing where so many of you people are watching from and sort of watching the channel from and consuming the channel from. It's just such a great thing. It's like me just sitting here in my little room in my house, and yet, you know, it's all part of this bigger Arsenal community that stretches all around the world. And it always blows my mind as well. And it's not just people from around the world. Of course, it is lots and lots of people from around here, including Ollie, of course. Good old Ollie. How are you doing, mate? I'm good. The weather's all right. The weather looks pretty brutal tomorrow, Ollie. I know you're probably going to get up there about 9 a.m. tomorrow and spend about 12 hours walking around North London before you actually get into the game. Yeah, if you are doing that, I'd wrap up warm and try and stay dry, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty brutal one tomorrow. Lots of other people get involved as well. Bevo from Los Angeles. We've got someone from Nigeria watching as well. Oh, here we go. Buster Move says, save the space for the trophy photo at the end of the season. Is that where it's going to go? Should I put the trophy photo there? That would be nice. That would be nice. But a long way to go, Buster. A long way to go. Remember that. And obviously, 100% Manchester City are going to win tonight. No way on earth that they drop points against Brighton later on. Live from Waco, Texas. Nice one. Swindon, just down the road, just down the M4. Bradley, just down the M4. Burnham, wow, even closer. Watching from Burnham, says Mr. Tricky. Spent many a days before I started covering Arsenal, sitting at the Gore, watching Burnham FC, reporting on Burnham FC for the main and advertiser as well. So, yeah, I know Burnham very well, if that is the Burnham you're talking about, Mr. Tricky. We've got Kerry Island, Washington, D.C. We've got Bangalore, India as well. Lots of US Arsenal fans on the stream here from Texas. You see, Ollie, don't let me down, mate. Of course, you're getting there early. I would expect nothing left for you. Gunnar Deutsch says, first time live, CW. Thanks for all you do, mate. No worries. No worries. Appreciate all the support. Right. Just before I carry on with all those messages, let's actually talk quickly about what Mikel had to say at his press conference today. So I'm sure you've seen it anyway. We're the sort of team news updates anyway. Nothing massively unexpected there. Didn't get anything fresh from him, which fingers crossed is a good sign. On Calafiori and Mosquera, neither of those two are back, but it sounds like they're getting a little bit closer. Mikel said pretty soon, or I think pretty soon, when he was asked when they could be back. They have to go to the last stage of the rehab, and if everything goes well, hopefully very soon they'll be available for selection. On Kai Havertz, who was sort of sat down for the game against Bournemouth at the weekend, didn't travel, wasn't part of the travelling squad despite being fit. Mikel said, we are obviously monitoring his load. He's been out for a long time for two different reasons, and he is very close. He trained this morning again. Hopefully we're going to have him available in the best version of Kai Havertz. The thing that Arsenal, the position Arsenal are in with Kai Havertz at the moment, as much as we're all desperate for him to come back, I'm desperate for him to see him back, is when you look at what they did against Bournemouth and the strength of depth in attack that they had on the bench against Bournemouth, they could bring on in the second half in a triple substitution. Jesus, Saka, Trossard, still got Eze sitting on the bench. You just don't have to rush Kai back. As Mikel said, when he does come back, when you do bring him back, you want him back as the best possible Kai Havertz. Rushing him back, could risk that happening. So Arsenal in a nice position with the strength and depth that they have, that they don't have to rush Kai back. But you look at some of the games coming up, Portsmouth, will that be too soon for him? Potentially so, but you've got the Carrot Almaty game coming up. You've got the Chelsea semi-final, and I know it's a semi-final, but I still expect some rotation in that game as well. So maybe there's going to be the opportunities to give Kai some minutes. On the training ground and the mood around the training ground, Mikel said, obviously excited. It's a massive game against the champions of the Premier League. We have a point to prove. We're going to have our crowd, our supporters very early, before 8 o'clock. That's to you, Ollie. Everybody there creating an amazing atmosphere and looking forward to it. On having a point to prove against Liverpool, he said, we're top of the table. We play at home against a really, really good opponent, and we want to maintain our position. In order to do that, we're going to have to be excellent throughout the game, win the game. That's the point we have to prove. I think when he said it, first of all, in that first answer, when he said point to prove, I think a lot of people thought, he's talking about the defeat at Anfield earlier on the season. He was pressed on that a couple of times during the press conference, and he kind of rode back from it. It was like, saying, no, the point to prove is just we want to maintain our position at the top of the table. Be interesting to think if he actually means that. Knowing Mikel Arteta the way I do and how he operates a lot of the time behind the scenes and how he tries to motivate his players, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's been talking about that game at Anfield earlier in the season a lot in the build up to this game to try and use it as motivation, because Arsenal don't lose many games, but they lost that one. They responded very, very well to the defeat at Aston Villa when they played Aston Villa next. Obviously, let's see what they do against Liverpool. Let's sort of go back quickly to what some of you guys are saying here. Who we got? Someone from Oslo. Can't wait to have King Kai back. What a boost for our attack. Indeed. Dio from Nigeria, Maui City, West Africa. Watching from Mordor. Says 610 Vegas or Stoke. Nice. Philly, ECW country. Paul from Philadelphia. Big up the Indian Gooners. Lots of you getting involved. Leeds, Gunner. In Canada, they call this weather in the UK spring. Ekitike news is fake. Let's keep fighting. Yeah, so the team news from Liverpool obviously sort of centres a lot around Hugo Ekitike and whether he's going to be fit. Didn't play against Fulham, obviously, on a slot at his press conference earlier today before Mikel Arteta. Didn't give anything away when he talked about Ekitike, but said, right, he hasn't trained yet. Let's see if he trains today. I said he was going to be close. He wasn't going to be out for a long time. Maybe it'll be 1 or 2 days after Arsenal. So he's keeping him guessing. I still think Ekitike plays. I know there's a lot of talk about people have taken him out of his FPL team. People involved with Liverpool have taken him out of their FPL team, which means he's obviously injured. I'll believe that when I see it. I'm still expecting to rock up at the Emirates tomorrow night and have Ekitike lining up. It'd certainly be a boost if that wasn't the case, but I'm still expecting it to happen. So just on when I talk about rocking up at the Emirates, Mikel's obviously talked about that, which is no massive surprise. I thought he was going to try and drum up support. So this is what he said on the supporters and what he wants today. He obviously in the first answer, he said, we're going to have our crowd, our supporters very early before 8 o'clock. Everybody would be there creating an atmosphere and looking forward to it. On the supporters, he said, they've been unbelievable this season, makes such a difference, become a different team. The level of energy, commitment, confidence and desire we show in every action is transmitted to the team, and we need them tomorrow and in every game. He did talk about what it was like to have a big crowd behind you, a huge crowd. He said, there's nothing like it. You become a different player. Your emotional state is better. Your energy level is better. Confidence is better. They drive you to take action with a lot of aggression, with a lot of determination, and that lifts the whole team. So that's what we have to provide tomorrow. And there's going to be a sort of, we don't exactly know what it is yet, but it's a supporter wide all across the stadium display tomorrow before the game. So I'm not sure if it's a sort of tifo thing or if it's going to be red and white, sections of red and white. What it's going to be, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Arsenal going all out on this. I think they're very, very aware of how big this game is in terms of atmosphere and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it's going to be like. Right, let's go through some more of your questions, shall we, or your comments and your shout outs. Let's see, where was I up to before? Already gone through here. Feeling good, says Matthias. Great expectations, shouting from South Africa. Oh, this is interesting. Mark says, speaking of the weather, I'm assuming Liverpool are travelling down today to avoid any storm-based disruption to the game. I would imagine so. I mean, I don't know. I have to say, I haven't asked, but it's an away game in the Premier League. I would be shocked if Liverpool left it until the day of the game, even though it's a night game tomorrow. If this was Arsenal, they were playing at Anfield tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, they'd already be in Liverpool now, or certainly en route to Liverpool now, and they'd be tucked up in bed in the team hotel this evening. So yes, I would absolutely expect they will be here, and there is a big storm coming as well. So you'd be stunned if they were trying to make their way down in the heart of that. Cheyenne's watching from Islamabad in Pakistan. Hello, Cheyenne. Good to have you here. Stephen from Stratford upon Avon. Scott is on board saying afternoon. Hello, mate. How are you? Gav is originally from Rochdale, Great Manchester. Lives just outside Mablethorpe, East Coast, Lincolnshire. We've got someone from Germany watching on. South Africa again, absolutely brilliant. Bosnia, there's a new one there. Central Ohio. Yes, loads of you watching from everywhere, which is great to see. Great to see. Ola's thinking victory tomorrow. I mean, it is a big game. It's a huge game. Obviously, it is. Well, it's going to be interesting as well because Arsenal are playing second this weekend. This midweek. Before the last couple of games have been playing first. They've put the pressure on Manchester City, and Manchester City haven't been able to handle it. I know I keep joking of saying, oh, City are obviously going to win today. Of course they are. There's no doubt about it. It's a bit of a joke because of what I've said the last couple of games, and they've ended up dropping points. But you would imagine, all jokes aside, that Man City will respond tonight. They will win tonight at home to Brighton. It'll be a difficult game, no doubt about that. But, you would expect the odds are that Manchester City will win this game, and they'll cut that gap at the top of the table to 3 points before Arsenal's game tomorrow. So for the first time in a while, Arsenal are going to have to deal with that. It happens again at the weekend when they play after Manchester City. And that's the way of the world when it comes to the title race. You're going to have weekends when you're first, weekends when you're second. So far, Arsenal have dealt with it all very, very well. And I think what's been really impressive from Arsenal in this period of games now, when you go back to the defeat at Aston Villa, and the team was struggling a little bit. They dropped points against Sunderland. That people were beginning to look at Arsenal a little bit and like, oh, are they beginning to wobble? But are they beginning to crack? Look at the emotional state of the players after they conceded that late goal. Had all the analysis of players falling over and smacking the ground after that Buendia goal went in. And then you think what they've done since then, winning every single game, won by penalty shootout, but they've won every single game, 7 out of 7, 5 in a row in the Premier League. And they've slowly sort of built their confidence up during that run as well. And they've done it with a lot of injuries and that timing. I think it's been mightily, mightily impressive. And it just feels like if they can, very similar to what they did against Aston Villa, if they can really put in not just a performance, but get a proper result tomorrow night against the champions, let's not forget, it would be absolutely massive, and just kick them on during this period where you feel like this is your opportunity almost with City. They've got some injuries as well at the back. Haven't got the Semenyo deal over the line yet, of course, so they are going to strengthen fairly soon. Feels like an opportunity to really put your foot down and try and, open up a little bit of a gap on the others. They've done that well in the last couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Who else have we got on the chat here? Expensive Taylor Boy says, Dammy Garner. calling from Ghana. We got someone from Colorado. Come on, Palace and Brighton tonight. Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about Manchester City, not talking about Aston Villa, which seems very harsh. They're also on the same amount of points as Manchester City at the moment, only behind them on goal difference, and they've got to go. I fancy Villa tonight, I have to say. Palace, they look knackered to me. They look, and it's no surprise, they've played so much football, so many games because of the Conference League and everything like that. They seem to be conceding late on in games as well, playing pretty well, staying in them for 60, 70 minutes, but then tailing off as the tiredness kicks in. And you look at Aston Villa and how strong they tend to be at the end of games, how they can come back and win games that they're losing. I'm not holding out much hope for Crystal Palace tonight. I hope I'm wrong. Because it would be nice to sort of, I know Arsenal sort of killed Villa's momentum a little bit, but they got a good win at the weekend on the back of that. It'd be nice if they go away from home and lose again tonight. It has to be said. So, yeah, I think everyone's going to share your views there. Devilish mode. Come on, Brighton and Palace tonight. Joe's watching from sunny southeast London. Is it that? So I suppose it is. The sun's beginning to go down where I am now. Richmond, Virginia. Tim O'Sullivan from Buckinghamshire, just down the road. Love your show, says Shodan. Thank you very much, Shodan. Appreciate that. As always, got Richard from Singapore joining the chat, from Malawi as well. Yeah, I mean, we don't know about Calafiori yet, 610 Vegas, in terms of exactly how bad it is. There's been sort of suggestive reports from Italy, the end of January. Mikel sounded pretty positive on it today, the last stage of their rehab. And so you'd think, that means they're very, very close to returning to training. Then obviously you've got to build up your fitness in training because you've been out for a while. But maybe the end of January, which is a few games. There's so many games. That's still probably 4, 5, 6 games away. But, it doesn't sound too bad. And to be fair, I think we're all expecting Calafiori to miss loads of this season from injury. His injury record's been very, very good this season. This is his first one. And if this proves to be his only one, then, that would be absolutely great. Mr. Takado says, I'm not happy about a lot of content creators having a headline, we're going to thrash Liverpool. They're the current champions and they beat us last time we met. Let's remain composed. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know who's saying they're going to thrash Liverpool. I'm certainly not expecting Arsenal to thrash Liverpool. It'd be nice. Be absolute real boost, but it'd certainly be nice. But yeah, I'm certainly not expecting Arsenal to thrash Liverpool. I saw a really good interview of Szoboszlai today. I think it was on Sky Sports. And he was asked by the Sky Sports presenter, are you playing the champions tomorrow? And he said, well, it's a long way to go. We're not playing the champions tomorrow. Arsenal are playing the champions. And he's right. Liverpool are the champions. Arsenal won nothing yet. They're 17 games away, potentially, from winning anything, being able to claim any sort of title. There's a long way to go. Liverpool are the champions. And we can't forget that. This is not going to be an easy game. They're on a decent run. I think it's 9 unbeaten for them. So this is going to be a really, really difficult game. Whoever's playing, even if Ekitike's out, it's going to be a tough game. Arsenal it's just one game at a time. Can't get. And I know it's hard for me to sit here and tell people how to feel when it comes to emotions, title races, all that sort of stuff. But I just, in terms of how I'm trying to sort of get myself through these next 4 months, which are going to be hellish, let's face it, for our health and for our hearts, is just trying to stay calm, be boring, focus one game at a time. Everything that Mikel Arteta basically says is what I'm trying to do at the moment. Just not think too far ahead. All I'm thinking at the moment, Liverpool, really tough game. Get through it, win it, whatever way it's going to be. 1-0, ugly, set piece, own goal, don't care. Win it, move on, next one. It's how I'm trying to assess things at the moment. Well, yeah, that's not far away. Cinnamon Swirl watching from London Colney. Whereabouts? Are you in the offices at the training ground, or are you just down the road from London Colney? I could have waved as I drove out the window the other day. There you go. This is on Ekitike. So that's one of the rumours doing the rounds, that Conor Bradley took him out of his FPL team. I saw one of the members of the medical staff or the science department in Liverpool apparently took him out of their team as well. That was doing the rounds yesterday. But apparently Conor Bradley has taken him out as well. Hassam says, on a scale of 10, how scared are you this year from Manchester City? I'm scared. I mean, it's not so much, well, it is Manchester City that scares me. But it's just, I still kind of feel, I feel that Arsenal are the best team in this country. And I really do believe that. And I feel like they're the best team in this country by quite a distance as well. And so it's not so much that Manchester City scares me or anyone else scares me. It's just what scares me more is just Arsenal not, not doing something stupid, but Arsenal not just fulfilling the potential of this team, because I genuinely think they should win this league. They're good enough. The squad's good enough. They're experienced enough now. I don't look around at the other teams as much as I know it's Man City. I know it's Pep Guardiola. I know they've got Erling Haaland up front. I know it's the whole aura of Manchester City, but this isn't City with Rodri at his best, with Kevin De Bruyne in the team and all that sort of stuff. It is a bit of a transitional Manchester City still. So they do still have that sort of, just because we've been there, done it against them and failed in the past when it comes to head-to-head title battles against Manchester City. There's always that nagging doubt in the back of my mind, but I'm more scared of Arsenal just not fulfilling that potential. That's what scares me more than anything else, because I think they should do it. I think they deserve to do it. And that's the sort of fear I have more than anything else, is just that his team don't get what they deserve. That's my biggest fear. I hope I've explained that as well as I possibly can as well. Let's see what else we got. Ollie's still talking about how early he's going to get to the game tomorrow because of the storm, which arrives apparently about 1 p.m. tomorrow. And he's worrying about how he gets home in the snow afterwards. You'll make it, Ollie. Don't you worry. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Where else are people coming in from? Look, we've got people from Brooklyn on the stream, from Streatham, says Maggers. Some Mickeys from sunny Kent. What's this question about? From Tavo, he says, how plausible is it to swap the positions of Mosquera and White? I understand right back is White's best position, but for the sake of keeping White healthy, can we see a swap between those two? Well, not at the moment, because Mosquera's not fit, obviously. No, I don't think so. I think, look, Ben is now conditioned to be a right back. I think when you look at Ben's physique, his body, I think he is just being conditioned to be a right back now. And I don't see him, certainly not while he's in this Arsenal squad. I don't really see him reverting to, full-time centre-back. I'm sure he'll play there, or he could play there if needs be, but I don't really see it changing now. So I don't see that. I think certainly Mosquera is the centre-back now of the two, and White will be a right-back, will be rotation option for Yuri Timber, and will be on the odd occasion, a sort of possible option at centre-back as well. Hug from Brazil, says Bruno. Hug right back, Bruno. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Land of Mufasa, says Mr. Man as well. -12. There's me complaining about storm tomorrow. Max is -12 in Montreal, Canada. Montreal, I was going to say the home of Bret Hart, but it's not the home of Bret Hart. It's always Calgary, isn't it? That's the home of Bret Hart. All you wrestling fans will know what I'm talking about out there. Loco Dylan says, hi, Charles. Out of the current squad, how many players are actually Arsenal fans? God, I don't know the answer to that. Eza, Ethan, Miles, Saliba was when he was a youngster. I mean, it must be different. They say, oh, we're a boyhood Arsenal fan. It must be different when it becomes a profession and it becomes your job. I mean, I had Carl Jenkinson on the show, obviously, recently. He was a massive, massive Arsenal fan. But even he, in that interview I did of him, said that after he'd stopped playing for Arsenal, he had to kind of take a step back for a while and then sort of find himself as a fan again, because it changes when you're there. So as much as they can say they're sort of boyhood fans and all that, and they have the connection when they're younger, they had pictures of them in a kit when they were 5 years old. I do think it must change. It does change when they're a player. And then once they hang up the boots, and then maybe you revisit things as a fan again, as Carl Jenkinson explained in that interview. Rob from Hackney is watching from Dominica. I don't think so. Goss says Paul will park the bus. I don't think they will. I don't know what Liverpool get out of parking the bus tomorrow. I think there'll be times when they will probably do that in game, but I don't think they're going to set out for 90 minutes to park the bus. I'd be very, very surprised. I know Manchester City did that when they came to the Emirates, but I'm not sure that will happen. Youssef says, hello, Charles. Don't you think it'd be good to start Madueke and bring Saka on from the bench to finish up? No, I don't. I have to say I'd be starting Bukayo Saka, and I think the reason that he was left out against Bournemouth and Trossard was left out against Bournemouth was because Mikel is definitely going to start them in this game against Liverpool. So I think it'll definitely happen. And to be honest, I think that's right. I'm not benching Saka against Liverpool. No chance. I absolutely Want to see Saka star. Mo, what's this from Mo? He says, hello, I wish to meet you. However, I prefer meeting you after winning the Premier League and Champions League trophies. Mo from Houston, Texas. Well, fingers crossed in the summer, Mo, or in the trophy parade at the end of the season. There you go. Get yourself over to North London, and then we can meet with the trophies being paraded right by us. Henry's feeling good about Brighton versus Man City tonight. He says, last minute Welbeck winner this evening. You heard it here first. Well, I hope you're right. Henry, I really do hope you're right. Arsenal should sign Desire Doué, says Rahul. That would be nice. Absolutely. I'm not really seeing much chance of that happening, I have to say. I think PSG would be mad about that. Bradley Bacola, maybe, in the summer. Seen rumours, stories that he might be open to a move because of his lack of regular game time with PSG. Exciting player. I do like Bacola. Needs to add a little bit more input to his game, but it'll be interesting to see if he does come on the market in the summer, what clubs might make a move for him. Thierry says, any news on Ethan? Not really, no, I have to say. I think that's something I would imagine if Ethan is to go on loan, and I've spoken about that a lot, obviously, on this channel in terms of my views on it, but if he is to go on loan in this window, I do wonder if that will be something at the very end of the window, because you look at those fixtures that Arsenal got coming up in the next few weeks. Pompey at the weekend. You'd imagine Ethan's got a good opportunity to get some minutes in that game. Karat Almaty in the Champions League. Ethan's got a good opportunity to get some minutes in this game. And not just that, but also allow other players to get a bit of a rest. And then even potentially Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-final. You know, those are opportunities for Ethan to play this month. And as I said, to allow players to have a little bit of a rest. So I'd imagine if Arsenal do anything with Ethan, and I don't get the impression they're definitely, like Mikel is definitely happy to do that. But if they were, it kind of makes sense maybe to wait later until the end of the month, until those games are out of the way before you do it. But we'll wait and see. But I haven't, in terms of any news on it, I haven't really got anything fresh on that, I have to say. Sam's on from Nigeria. Hi, Sam. I hope you're enjoying AFCON at the moment. Big win. Scored a few goals yesterday, didn't you, Nigeria, in that game? Good to see Alex Iwobi playing at such a big part. We've got Esme from Pakistan joining. Hello, Donegal Island. Is that Levant? Is getting in touch? Matthews, I also saw you once in Waitrose, Charles. Gonna say hi if I bump into you again. Love the daily comment. There are other supermarkets available, by the way. This is not a free ad for Waitrose. Yeah, definitely come and say hi. I've quite a few people have come up and said hi to me in Waitrose who I've bumped into who've watched the channel. It seems to be quite a regular place for Inside Arsenal viewers to come up and say hello. So yeah, if you do see me again, Matthew, by all means, come up and say hi. Timosha from Ukraine watching. Hello, good to have you on here. Logical Nonsense from CM Punk Country, Chicago as well. Ado, I don't know what Sky Sports interview you're talking about. You say watching from Birmingham. What do you think of the Sky Sports interview? Not sure which one you're talking about. I don't know, I have to say. Expensive Taylor Boy, I'm one of your biggest fans from West Africa, from Nigeria, but living in Accra, Ghana. Thank you very much for that. Should we talk about WWE on here? Full Binky says, what do you think of WWE these days? It's so boring. Storylines seem to go nowhere. Maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe so. I mean, I'm still, look, I dip into it, in and out of it. I don't sit there and watch the whole of Raw and watch the SmackDown for 3 hours. I kind of get my WWE fix via social media, and sort of I'll wake up the next morning after Raw and I'll catch up on what's happened through the social clips of the matches and the promos and all that sort of stuff, which I still really enjoy doing. But in terms of sort of sitting down and watching the whole show, it's not really something. I don't have the time to do it, to be honest. And it's not the sort of product that I grew up watching and loved, but I still like staying into it. I'm not really an AEW fan, I have to say. Not so much because I've got any issue with AEW. I've just never really spent the time trying to get into it. Although I did go to AEW All In when they were at Wembley not so long ago. I'm Vexens from Stuttgart is getting in touch there. We've got someone from India. Can't wait to stay up till 3 a.m. Doff my cap to you, mate. Doff my cap. Everyone getting up at 3 a.m. to watch the Arsenal around the world. Unbelievable support. Well done. And the dedication, I know that must be so hard to do that. Reports of Arsenal linking to Goretzka. I thought Goretzka had retired. I thought he'd announced his retirement. I haven't seen any reports of that, but yeah, I thought he'd announced his retirement. I have to say. Right, I'm going to go for a few more, and then I'm going to wrap this one up because we're over the half-hour mark now, and my son is about to get back from school very, very soon. Dean says, loving the shows from Ontario, Canada. Quick question: what was the official outcome of the Man City investigation? Would take those titles if they would have been deducted points. Look, there is no official outcome yet of the Man City investigation. It continues to just the delay. No one knows really why it's going on, what's happening on with the delays. You know what City are doing, why there's no outcome being announced yet. It's just the whole thing's a mess. It's just shady. We know there's lots of stuff going on behind the scenes in terms of cease and desist letters and everything from Manchester City, from anyone who speaks about it, all that sort of stuff. It's just been tied up in a big legal minefield. We're waiting for the outcome. I don't know when it's going to come. When it does come, I've kind of lost any faith in them really being taken to task now. It's just dragged on so long. I have to say, we just, and I'm not spending too much time worrying about dock points or anything. If Arsenal are going to win this title, they've got to go on and win it themselves, not worry about dock points from Man City or anything like that. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on it. But there is no official announcement yet. Anyway. Eric says, how about a few more thumbs up, folks? There you go, thumbs up. I never say it. I never say I'll give my videos a like. I don't know why. I'm so terrible at like self-promoting or anything like that. So I never do it. But if you do want to like the video, then give it a like. There you go. It's like the one time in the year that I've ever actually done that. Robbo says, greeting from Dublin, Ireland. Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much. Oh, this is a good one. Charlotte says, hi, Charles. If you could have one former player still active back on the current squad, who would it be? Oh, that's a tough one. Who would it be? I would still active current Arsenal player. I think I need a little bit more time to think about this. Who would fit in really, really well to this Arsenal squad? Let me come back to you on that. Shayla, give me your views, everyone, below on this. If you could have one former player still active back in this current squad, who would it be? I think I would love Granit Xhaka back in this squad. I still think if it had stayed, Arsenal have won at least one Premier League title, maybe two, but definitely the season after he left, they'd have won that title. The one they ended up losing by a point. If it had stayed, no doubt about it, because they spent 6 months trying to replace him with Havertz. That didn't work. Then eventually they moved Declan Rice into the position, and then Arsenal got on that amazing run. But if Xhaka had stayed and they hadn't had to sort of do all that stuff in midfield, I'm convinced that first half of the season would have been so strong, and they would have gone on and win it. So, and he's still performing at the highest of levels now. First he did it for Leverkusen, now he's doing it for Sunderland. And his leadership would be unbelievable. So I think I probably would say Granit, I have to say, on that. Right. Quite a few people more. Is Alexis still playing? And anyway, I wouldn't want Alexis back now if Alexis even is still playing. If he'd be out, he's not playing at a massive top level that I think he comes back and gets into this Arsenal team. So no, I wouldn't say Alexis. Yeah, no, Diaz says Santi all day. I know Santi technically is still playing, but again, you're not going to bring back a 41-year-old at this time in this squad as well. Pat Forster says Rob Holding. I'll die on the Rob Holding hill, Pat. I will. Dave says at the moment, Welbeck, says Dave. Charlotte's happy with my answer. Granite. There you go. Orba. See, I know what you mean with all those players, but I'm not thinking about bringing players back when they were at their height of their form for Arsenal, who are still playing. I'm thinking bringing them back now, and in their current guise, would they still make an impression at this team? That's why I'm saying Granite, rather than people who are, sort of right at the end of their career, like Alexis and Aubameyang as well. Oh, someone says Martinez. Emi Martinez. No, not for me. Will, not for me. as brilliant as Martinez is, and he's been great for Aston Villa, no, I think in this current Arsenal team, there's no goalkeeper I would rather have than David Raya. This is a really interesting one. Harry Kane, says Vintage Jules. I hadn't even thought about that. He is technically a former Arsenal player. And I would absolutely love to have Harry Kane in this team right now. You put Harry Kane at the top of that Arsenal attack right now. Wow. There would definitely be a Premier League title coming at the end of this season. I think is a sort of, I don't know, technically, is it a legit answer because he was only a youth team player at Arsenal or an academy player at Arsenal? But if you're allowed to accept that answer, then that would probably be the right one. Charlotte agrees. All Kane, absolutely agrees. Right, I'm going to call time on this now, everyone. I'm going to have to head off. My son has just got back from school. I need to go and start sorting him out, get ready for dinner and all that sort of stuff. I'll be back in the morning for the preview show. Anything you want me to discuss in that preview show, get in the comments of the video. Give me your predicted 11s or the 11s you want to see, anything like that, and I'll pull some of them together as always and get them included in the show. Thank you so much to everyone who's been in the comments. Appreciate it all. Thank you very much. Give you all a big wave. So many of you from all around the world who have been involved in that. So thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun. And yes, I will be back in the morning to do it all over again. Have a good one, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.